The government employees might not have guaranteed right to promotion, but our constitution ensures the fact that they do have the fundamental right to be considered for promotion. Supreme Court in past judgment has already said so, but recently Punjab and Haryana High Court have reiterated the fact that if a person, government employee, is not being considered for promotion, that will be violation of his fundamental right. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh and today we are going to understand this very judgment. So let us start with what exactly has unfolded. So Punjab and Haryana High Court, they have come up with a judgment, and as per this judgment, they have clearly said that if an eligible employee, he is not being considered for promotion, then that will be considered as violation of fundamental rights. Now, why this judicial observation came out? This came out because there was a case which concerned related to the fact that there was exclusion of somebody who was eligible and he was excluded from Departmental Promotion Committee. That means he was not even considered. So in this context, the whole debate, the whole issue was around the fact that denial of consideration for promotion, does that violate constitutional guarantees? And that's where the judicial observation says, yes, it does. So when we are talking about that failure for considering an eligible employee would be mounting to violation of fundamental right, let us understand that what exactly is right to be considered for promotion. Now when we are talking about this right says two important things. It says that if you are an eligible employee, then you need to be considered for promotion objectively. Second, your evaluation needs to be done. It can be in accordance with the established rules, that is okay. You need to be considered and you need to be evaluated. If you don't fulfill the parameter and you are not promoted, that is okay. But you need to be considered. So the essential condition here is that eligibility criteria should be fulfilled and there should be inclusion in the zone of consideration. That means consideration will be definitely there, but there is no guarantee that you will be selected, promoted, or you will get any seniority benefits. The fundamental right is limited to this zone of consideration. What comes as a consequence is not going to be a right, and that will also not mount to violation of fundamental rights. So this is what exactly right to be considered for promotion means. But the question here is, does it have any constitutional and legal basis? Yes, it does, and this is not the first time a court is talking about it. So when we are talking about constitutional basis, let us start with Article 14. Article 14 ensures equality before law. It talks about the fact that there will be proper guards against any arbitrariness in state action. So if a government employee is not being considered at all for promotion, that is arbitrary behavior. Now let's move to next article, Article 16 clause 1. It guarantees there will be equal opportunity in public employment. Now when we are talking about public employment, this is what is mentioned in our constitution, but judicial expansion of this provision has been done, and it says that when we are talking about public employment, it means not just appointment but also promotion and career advancement. So if we are denying the opportunity of career advancement or fair consideration for promotion, that means we are violating the fundamental right. Now moving towards legal basis. Supreme Court in previous judgments such as 1991 Orissa case, they said there is no fundamental right to promotion. There is only right to be considered. This is exactly what has been again told by Punjab and Haryana High Court. Then we have Ajit Singh versus State of Punjab 1999. Now this came through a constitutional bench ruling. That means 5 or more Supreme Court judges gave this judgment that right to be considered, right to have promotion, no. Right to be considered, yes. That is a fundamental right under Article 16(1). And then the most recent one, Bihar State Electricity Board case 2024. There is no vested right to retrospective promotion. that if certain correction is done today, then there can be no retrospective promotion, and if there is any administrative delay, that does not mean you have any automatic entitlement. So, based on the doctrine that is established out of this, that right is available to you, but at what stage? At the stage of consideration. It is not available at the stage of selection, that you will be selected, you will be promoted. No, you have the right to be considered. If you fulfill the parameters, you will be. If you don't, you will not be. Now, when we look at this, we also need to understand that what is the significance of this judgment, and this judgment gives us a lot of perspective, governance wise, legal perspective, and also ethical perspective. For governance, this is a huge morale boost where we get to see efficiency also taking a upside. Other than that, this is a place where it directly prevents and also says that favoritism or any sort of arbitrariness wouldn't work. If it does, then it would be violation of fundamental rights. But when we look at from the perspective of the legal aspect, we get to see that this is strengthening the substantive equality through procedural safeguards that Supreme Court and now High Court is also placing, and this has expanded the interpretation of fundamental rights that exist. And then from the lens of ethics, this clearly holds fairness, transparency, and also most important, accountability in this very context. Now, let me know what are your thoughts on this particular stance that has been taken up by High Court. I'll be leaving you here with the prelims practice question. You can put down your answers in the comment section. That was all. Thank you so much.